Farm life is often romanticized as a way to slow down and embrace the simple side of life, and sometimes that is true on the farm, but in this season of summertime with so much going on and so many chores to tend to every day, it seems far from a slow-paced and simple life. Pair the busyness with a little bit of bad luck sprinkled in here and there, and sometimes it can just be so overwhelming. So it's important to slow down and to remember why I'm choosing to live this lifestyle to begin with. This summer has seemed to be a bit harder than most from recent summers that I can remember. We've had some pretty long spells of really hot and humid weather, but fortunately it has cooled down some here, and the animals are all just doing a lot better than they were a few days ago when it was just so hot and humid out. The garden has been neglected more so than we'd like this summer. We have just had a lot going on and we didn't put forth the time and effort into it like we had hoped to be able to. But our focus has shifted now to a fall garden and trying to get what we can out of the crops that survived the summer. I have been starting off the mornings really watering in our carrot seeds and hope for a good harvest on those this fall. And then we recently dug our potatoes and we have a pretty good amount of those stored for winter. And our tomatoes, peppers, cucumbers, and okra are all still doing really well. Getting our own family milk cow is definitely on the list of things I want, but it hasn't happened yet. So in the meantime, I'm getting raw milk from a neighbor, and recently all of her cows had their calves, so she has a lot of milk right now, and I've been able to get a lot more than just what we drink. So I've been able to make raw milk kefir and yogurt and experiment with some other things. I want to try to make some mozzarella soon also. So it's been a really great thing because I know once we get our milk cow, keeping up with all the milk is what everyone says is the chore, and like just making sure you use all the milk you're getting. So being able to have a lot and source it good locally right now is helping me to learn how to use that abundance, and I just can't wait till we get our own milk cow here on the farm. That's definitely a chore that I'm willing to take on every day. This time of year, we always have a lot of meat chickens because we keep them all summer long and we raise them in batches. So we'll get a batch of 300 at a time. And so we always have chicks in our brooder, which are the baby chicks I'm taking care of right now. And then we always have chickens out on pasture. So we kind of keep them rolling as we get the ones on pastured, processed, and we sell those at the weekend's farmers market. We usually have another batch of chicks in the brooder ready to move out to pasture, and we just kind of keep them flowing all summer long because we found that's actually in really high demand and a product that people really want from our farm. But we don't raise them in the wintertime because chickens are just too hard to take care of in this system in the wintertime. So we just try to do it really well in the summertime. And unfortunately, one of the last batches has just been really hard. And that's just sort of the bad luck that I'm referring to with this hot and humid weather. The weather has been against us on that batch of chickens, which has caused us to lose more. And sometimes when that kind of stuff happens, you got to keep taking care of the chickens that are still there, but you know that like you're probably not going to make any money off of this batch because you won't be able to compensate for the amount that you have lost. And that's just when things get tough because it's a big chore every day and we put a lot of effort into this. But sometimes the weather, Mother Nature is just against you on things, and that's just the way it is with farming. You just have to keep showing up and keep trying no matter what gets thrown at you. The cows have all been looking a lot better now that the weather finally broke and it's just not so hot outside. And for their sake, I really hope this weather holds out and we can transition into fall with a little bit more desirable temperatures here, which I know it's still August. And in Missouri, things are always hot and humid in August. It's just the way it is. And luckily this summer, we have had a really good amount of rain. So that's one thing that's been really great is we've had a wet summer. So all of our pastures are still looking pretty good. And there's still a lot of really good grass out there for the cows to graze. After all the chores are done, I decided to get out to the garden to harvest a few things that I'm going to need for dinner tonight. And then I went to get back in the house to get the kids down for their naps so that I could prep dinner and get a little bit of work done because we have a busy evening tonight. We have to sort some fat cattle. So those are our market ready cattle that we are butchering right now for local customers and quarters and halves. So when my husband gets home from work, we had to go out and pick out 5 of them to haul to the processor tomorrow. So that's a job that has to get done. And then we would also like to try to make it out to the garden to do a little bit more prep work for our fall garden and get some cover crop down so that we have good space to plant into next spring. Dinner tonight is what my dinners in the summertime often look like, and that's just meat and a lot of fresh vegetables. So tonight I'm going to just do it all on our smoker. So I'm going to get all the vegetables chopped up and ready, and then get the meat seasoned and ready. So while we're out doing chores, I can just put this stuff on the smoker on slow cook for a while, and then once we get in for the night, it'll be ready to go. And that's just how I keep meals in the summertime wholesome, but also just so simple and something that works well with our schedule. Because a lot of times during the summertime, we don't eat till pretty late at night and we don't really come inside fully until dark. The cattle are sorted and ready to go to processing tomorrow. So back out to the garden to finish out the evening. We want to get this tarp laid out so that the grass underneath will die off and give us enough time to plant a good cover crop out there this fall. Thanks so much for watching and following along for another busy day on the farm during the summertime.